This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything, and you can use the coupon code ZapDoesTCG for 5% on everything on the website. Also, this video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. Cardmarket is a European platform where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. You can use the referral name ZapDoesTCG to help support the channel. Also, this video is sponsored by yourplaymat.com. Want to create your own custom playmat? There's only one address. Go check out yourplaymat.com by clicking the link down below. You'll get 10% off your order. They ship worldwide, so start creating your own custom playmat. Last but not least is Dragon Shield. DragonShield.com is of course the affiliated link down below in the description. You're gonna be able to buy sleeves, deck boxes, as well as binders, and Dragon Shield is the best brand to help protect your cards and keep them safe from any scratches whatsoever. They are the best quality sleeves around, so yeah, I'm a big fan, so thanks for sticking around with the commercials. Let's get it going. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDoesTCG here and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't ever miss out. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 best decks for the World Championships 2022 in London. I'll be attending the World Championships myself, and it's probably going to be at least one of those 10 decks unless I come up with a solution to crack the format. These are actually going to be decks based on statistics, so yeah, with my personal opinion blended in a little bit. So if yeah, this list is a little bit different than your opinion, be sure to let me know in the comment section what you think are the top 10 best decks, or what is the best deck in today's format. This format is of course already quite long because we didn't have a rotation, and we also gained the Pokemon Go mini set, which actually had some impactful cards. As you can see here, without further ado, let us just start this video. If you're enjoying the daily content, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways, and I'm super grateful if you would do so. So with that being said, let's just get this video started with number 10. Lunatone and Solrock. This is probably one of the more popular decks out there as of late because it's just so cheap. It's the best budget deck out there. You don't need a lot to make this deck, and it is actually surprisingly getting some top 8s here and there. So Lunatone Solrock is very cool because with the Sun Energy, the Solrock is able to accelerate a Psychic Energy to a Lunatone of your choice, and you can spam that. So if you have 4 of them out, 4 energies. If you have Scoop Up Nets, you can even get a turn where you can get 7 energies in play. I've seen it happen personally, so yeah, this deck can of course attack on the first turn going second because it's that consistent. You have Pokestop allowing you to of course look at the top 3 cards of your deck and discard them. If you have any item cards you see there, you can put them in hand. So Pokestop drawing deeper into the deck, Tracking Shoes drawing deeper into the deck. It is very cool. You have the Radiant Greninja with of course the concealed cards allowing you to dig a little bit deeper into the deck as well, and you can also reutilize that with Scoop Up Net. The Moon Kinesis actually is able to hit ridiculous numbers, definitely if you can take into consideration that you can get the Solrock, the Sun Energy out, a lot of abilities, like time after time, you can get so many Solrocks off, and your Lunatone will be stacked with energies. You also have Choice Belt for additional damage output, and you even have some gusting with Bosses orders by your side. I personally think it's a very fun deck. People are claiming like, this is a bad deck, this is a bad deck, but it is getting some results, and probably because a lot of people are playing it. Maybe that's a little bit biased here and there, but it is on the number 10 spot for now. Moving forward, number 9 is the Regideck. Regideck, another one price deck up on the menu. We have of course Regideck. This actually was first introduced in the Full Grip Games tournament, and yeah, also in Japan, a Regigigas deck was able to win it all. So we do see that you do need to fill up your entire bench. So this deck is requiring Capture Energy and Stormy Mountains. That means you can fill up your bench with a lot of Regis. With the Stormy Mountains, you can either find your Regidraco or a Regieleki, which is very cool. And with Capture Energy, you can get any Pokemon instantly on the bench. So as soon as you have all the Regis assembled, you can use the Ancient Wisdom ability of the Regigigas to accelerate 3 energies on the discard pile to one of your Pokemon. And with type coverage, you're actually going to be able to slap a lot of Pokemon for weakness. Regirock can knock out stuff like Arceus. We have the Regigigas being able to knock out Palkia VSTAR. There's also the capabilities of utilizing the Registeel against specific decks, for instance, Ice Rider if you come across that. So I think typing wise, this is better than Lunatone Solrock. It is a little bit inconsistent and has, of course, having to worry about Avery, Collapse Stadium, and yeah, Temple of Sinnoh. But if you can get it off, sometimes this deck could wreck a lot of top tier decks if you are fast enough. This deck runs Cynthia's Ambition on top of Research as the main draw engine supporters. So that means you're going to be able to, of course, dump your hand. Hopefully a lot of energies are in there. So then you can accelerate the energies to one of your Regis if you can get the full Regi squad together. Also, you need Ordinary Rod because of the fact that you will need to, of course, get the Regis back in your deck to slap them down on the bench once more, because of the fact that as soon as you are missing out one Regi, you're not able to utilize the ability of the Regigigas. So that's why there's 4 Ordinary Rod there. There's also a Path to the Peak in here. Sometimes that could be helping out against a Duraludon out of nowhere. You could be utilizing Path to the Peak and slapping huge damage with Regigigas on top of a Choice Belt, on top of the Twin Energy, etc. So you're slapping 330. That is definitely something you could be doing, although Path to the Peak also shuts down decks like Mew VMAX, as we've come to know. Another cool thing is that the Hisuian Heavy Ball allows you to get a basic Pokemon, a Regi, from your prize cards. If there happens to be one crucial prize, you still can rely on the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Speed Lightning Energy draws cards, and there's also the Regi Draco allowing you to draw cards until you have 4 cards in hand. So very cool if you promote that. If a Pokemon gets knocked out, promote Regi Draco if you have a horrible hand, and that is going to be your main out to draw a lot of cards. With Ultra Ball and Quick Ball, you can also empty your hand to make use of the Regi Draco's ability. So another cool one price deck, and yeah, it's cool to see that a lot of one price decks are viable, very good for the format. Moving forward, we're talking about the number 8 spot, Turbo Dialga. Turbo Dialga is a deck that a lot of great players have grabbed onto. The thing here is you have the Star Chronos, a very powerful V-Star attack. If you use Star Chronos, you're gonna be slapping 220 damage, and then you can go again, meaning you skip the opponent's turn and it's back to you. You're gonna be able to draw a lot of cards with the help of the Intrepid Swordization, the concealed cards of Greninja being able to loop that with Scoop Up Net, and the Mysterious Tail Mew from Celebrations. With that, you can look at the top 6 cards of your deck and find an item card. You see there, you can get yourself the Saucers, and as soon as you get a lot of Saucers, you're gonna be able to set up your Dialga very, very quickly, which is good. You can also get your Saucers back with Silene, by the way, which is awesome. So you can set up a second Dialga V-Star, or maybe you just rely on good old Zation to take a couple of prize cards here and there. There is, of course, Boss's Orders, because if you knock out like a basic V Pokemon and it's your turn again, and you can easily knock out a V-Star because you can stack up more energies on the Dialga V-Star. You also have Canceling Cologne, because Miltanks are here and there sometimes ruining your day because you don't have one prize Pokemon as the attackers. So Canceling Cologne could be the way against Miltank, and with Silene you can get back your Canceling Cologne. So you see where we're going with this deck. The reason Silene is in here is that we're running very aggressively with Tracking Shoes and Scoop Up Net, Radiant Greninja, Scoop Up Net, Radiant Greninja, Silene, get Scoop Up Net back. It's a lot of great turbo shenanigans. You just draw through your entire deck, and that's why I think this deck is actually very good if you can get the Star Chronos off in time. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about the number 7 deck. It is good old classic Arceus Duraludon VMAX. Not a lot of fancy shenanigans in here. You're just playing Duraludon, and you of course have access to the Hyper Potion to heal off 120 damage if you discard 2 energies from your Duraludon. That could mean the DTE as well, the double turbo energy counts as 2 energies, so that's the perfect energy to discard, so you can attach Hyper Potion on top of Crystal Case, healing 150 damage basically, which is nothing to laugh at. A lot of decks will definitely be afraid of this. You also have a low bench size, which is very good against Palkia, and you're immune from damage done to it by special energy. So Pokemon with special energies, think about decks that only run 20 energy like the Zoroark box or whatever, they will simply auto lose because they cannot hit you. The Regi deck also has troubles against this if they don't get the Path to the Peak out in time. So Duraludon might be one of those decks that has like a reasonable matchup against a lot of decks in the meta game, but sometimes has that consistency flaw in that sense that if you cannot get a Trinity Charge or Trinity Nova off, your deck crumbles down the drain. So yeah. It is high risk, high reward because of the fact that you might be hitting into a lot of opponents playing special energies, and then you're going to be laughing throughout the entire tournament. With Big Charm, the Duraludon has 360 HP, and as we all know, Dragon typings have 0 weakness in the TCG. So you also have Avery to lower the opponent's bench size even further. So very cool to see this deck. Moving forward, number 6 goes to Mewtwo VUnion, thanks to Sander Wojcik and its NEIC performance. Yeah, what can we say? Mewtwo is probably the best way to play control right now. You just utilize the super regeneration attack to heal 200 damage from Mewtwo VUnion, and if there are decks out there that cannot hit more than 200, they're going to be in trouble because they're going to be endlessly looped, because you can use the Silene, which allows you to flip 2 coins for every head, put a card from the discard pile on top of the deck, with Palpad, and of course the Team Meowth's Cheer. So you have an endless loop. Palpad, you have Team Meowth's Cheer, you have Silene, you play Silene, you use Palpad, and you can get the Silene back, you get the Team Meowth's Cheer back. So you go in loops, and you can never deck out, and you keep using super regeneration of the Mewtwo VUnion. How can you get Mewtwo VUnion out? Well, you can just draw a lot of cards with Gourmandize by discarding a lot of cards from the hand with Galarian Meowth. On top of Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, and Tracking Shoes, your Gourmandizes are actually going to be sometimes drawing 7 cards, and that's going to be an easy way to deck yourself out. The only card you will need by then is Palpad, Palpad, Silene, Team Meowth's Cheer, Palpad, Silene, Team Meowth's Cheer. Sometimes a Cook if the opponent slaps more than 200 damage. Sometimes they're slapping 220. Then you can sometimes use a Cook to just make sure you're never knocked out, and you're going to be in a position where sometimes the Mewtwo VUnion can even attack, spreading 16 damage counters on the opponent's field or slapping 300 damage output. So very scary archetype. You have Crushing Hammer, Evaldo, and Flannery against Mew VMAX decks, so you can run those out of energy, so you don't have to worry about that matchup as well. Very cool to see a control deck so high up on the list, and I've seen a lot of success with the Mewtwo VUnion. If we see it, take a look at the online results, it's been popping up, and it's one of the decks that people are very fond of, it seems. Number 5. Blissey V. Of course, from Milwaukee, we've realized that Blissey is a huge candidate on being one of the best decks in the format. You might think about adding in Pokestops in Blissey now, but I'm a bigger fan of still playing the Path to the Peak, because you crumble Starbird, Fusion Strike system, you even crumble Radiant Greninja. Even though you play it yourself, that's just for the early game setup. You capture energy, get your Radiant Greninja, discard an energy, get energies onto Blissey. So that's why I think it is very good. Path to the Peak is a strong card. With Cape of Toughness, your Blissey becomes a 300 HP menace, where the opponent has a lot of things that could go wrong. The only thing that can stop a Blissey is a Starmie V, which we haven't seen that much lately. But yeah, other than that, you might think, oh, I'm going to be adding in some fighting stuff to deal with the Blissey. Not going to work, because you have Dunsparce. Yveltal can get rid of special energies, and you have the Tornadoes, which can definitely win yourself against the Flying Pikachu matchup. So you just wait until you're ready to slap with huge damage with the Blissey V. You have switch cards, Hyper Potion and Team Meowth, so another healing deck. There's 2 of them out there in the format. We have Duraludon, but we also have Blissey V. And with Miltank, you can even wall off entire archetypes. You can even add a second copy of that in here. Maybe you're cutting a switch card or whatever. You can add a second copy if you want to. But with, of course, the popularity of the Mewtwo VUnion deck, people will definitely attack against Miltank. So is it even necessary when people are playing Canceling Cologne and Phoebe? I don't know. But yeah, you can, of course, utilize Blissey with Blissful Blast. You slap 10 damage plus 30 more for every energy attached to Blissey V. With Powerful Kara's energy, you can even already knock out Sobbles with the Powerful Kara's energy, because you can get an additional 20 damage buff as well. On top of this, if you use damage, if you slap damage on the opponent's active, you can accelerate 3 energies from your discard pile to your Blissey V. There is, of course, double turbo energy, allowing you to, of course, get 2 energies simultaneously. I know there's a 20 reduction, but it still is going to add up to 40 additional damage. There's, of course, the lucky energy. If you get damaged and this energy is attached, you can draw a card. So in the late game, you can make yourself Roxanne proof by utilizing Blissful Blast and adding in some lucky energies. That could be a thing. And I'm a very big fan of the Blissey deck. It's very easy going. You just attach, attack, attach, attack. Maybe bossing around. There's 4 copies of boss in here. Knocking out some Sobbles here and there until the Blissey is ready to strike with huge amounts of damage. Moving forward, number 4. Ta-ta-da-da! It is the winning list of NEIC Flying Pikachu VMAX. We have Azul GG to tank for that. We do see that this list is running the Crobat as well. So not only Flying Pikachu is in the spotlight here, with Crobat you have a chance against Mew VMAX, definitely with your 4 copies of Path to the Peak and 4 copies of Marnie. You use the Trinity Charge or Trinity Nova onto your Flying Pikachu VMAX, and then you just rack Palkias. That's what the deck typically does. You can utilize, of course, late game supporters like Raihan and Roxanne, and you can even loop that with the Palpat in here. Same goes for the Phoebe. The Phoebe allows you to just knock out Miltanks all around. So if you see Miltank, you're going to be smiling, because if they only play 2 Miltank, you just win that automatically. Other than that, there's also the capabilities of poisoning a Miltank with Crobat. Either Crobat is fine, and it is going to work out on top of that. So having an answer against Miltank is good. Having an answer against Palkia is good. And Arceus is still one of the most consistent decks out there because of the Star Birth ability, fetching 2 cards instantly from the deck. You have some Cheer and Scare in here as well, allowing you to pick up your Arceus, your damaged Arceus in one go and one swoop. And with, of course, Palpat in here, you technically have 4 Cheer and Scares. And as we've known, with Cheer and Scare and Arceus, it is totally busted like that. You might think, ooh, how do we use Star Birth when Path to the Peak is in play? No worries, there is a Pumpkaboo in here, allowing you to slap it down when you need to use Star Birth, and it is definitely working out. Very, yeah, cool deck. I like the 4 Path and 4 Marnie, works out against a lot of decks, and because of the high amount of Flying Pikachu, your Palkia matchup becomes secured. So, very interesting deck. Also in the past, Azul was playing Phoebe, not Phoebe, it was playing Shauna in the deck to deck the Miltank deck out, like the Miltank Blissey deck, because you can keep spamming Max Balloon. That's also a huge bonus for this deck. Max Balloon allows Flying Pikachu VMAX to be immune from basic Pokemon, so the Lunatone matchup, auto win. Reggie has a lot of difficult times ahead of them. They could, of course, Escape Rope and Boss, or they could use the Reggie spam, but yeah, it is definitely working out against a lot of basic archetypes, that's for sure. Moving forward, number 3, it is Mew VMAX. Oh, what do you know? Coming down from the number 1 spot, finally Mew VMAX has been lowered down as the 3rd best deck in the format. Mew VMAX is of course still great. You have Melodic's Echo, the most scary attack. If you're a person and the opponent is playing Mew and they're going second, you're already saying like, please don't dunk me, and boom, they do it. So you use Alessa Sparkle to get energies onto your Mew VMAX or Meloetta, and yeah, for every fusion energy in play, Meloetta slaps 70 damage. That means if you can then find maybe some tablets and choice belt, you can knock out a basic V, or if you find your 3rd copy of the fusion energy, you can just dunk opponents straight from the get-go, on top of using Pokemon Catcher if they're setting up on the bench. Very, very scary archetype. It is still one of the best picks in my opinion, because it has 50-50s across the board. They typically like Pat Marnie and hope that you don't draw a Stadium or anything else, but if you draw Chromatic, and if you have a Heads, you get the Stadium. If you do draw into your Rose Tower, you get the Stadium. You're back on rolling again. One of the most consistent decks in the format going first, because you just draw so many cards with Fusion Strike system. And I don't need to say too much about Mew VMAX. There's also some basic energies in here to have yourself a better answer against the Mewtwo VUnion Miltank deck, because those with Flannery and with, of course, the Yveltal, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, this is the exact 60 that I'm currently rocking with as well. So if you're playing Mew VMAX, this is a list. Echoing Horn, super great against stuff like Duraludon or any Arceus build that relies on Cheer and Care shenanigans. You can just Echoing Horn Boss, Echoing Horn Pokemon Catcher, and you're going to be having a good day. Typically, you have great matchups against anything in the game with Mew VMAX. Unless if you're up against, if you see some Galarian Moltres or you see some Marnie Pats and high counts, then it's gonna be scary. Pat with Roxanne is even more scary, so that's why this deck dropped off a little bit. But Mew, still around, one of the best decks out there. Number 2. It is classic Arceus Inteleon. What can we say? Consistency is great, right? So you have Arceus VSTAR, again with the Star Birth as we've come to know, but now with the Inteleon package. With Inteleon, you're having the Shady Dealings, so you can fetch out Cheer and Scare when the time is right. With Cheer and Scare, you're going to be able to loop Arceus into infinity, because you have also the Palpat in here, which you can get with the Shady Dealings engine. There's quick shooting on top, so for some additional damage output with some scoop up, that could turn into some beautiful numbers here and there, because you can also attack with Aqua Bullet from time to time. Aqua Bullet Inteleon is of course a viable option here. You can go from a 2-prizer to a 1-prizer to a 2-prizer, 2-prizer. That is definitely the 7-prize game you want to be going for. With Big Charm, Arceus has 310 HP, and that means that the opponent, if they're not able to one-hit KO Arceus, you're gonna be spamming Cheren Scare, and then you promoting the next Arceus. You use Trinity Nova, get an energy onto your Arceus on the bench. Use Cheren Scare again if you get damaged. Then you evolve, with Cheren Scare you can pick up everything. So that means energies, tool cards, the evolution line, everything. So basically, everything goes to the hand, everything gets slapped down again. And then that's all you need to do. At specific times, you can Roxanne Pat, and that's also a great option. Collapse Stadium inherently also works against the Regi deck, although you do have Dunsparce to protect yourself from fighting type weakness. Yeah, nothing to say here. It's just classic Arc Intel. Not a lot has changed. It's also sometimes that this deck has some scary first turns, but if you get past the first turn and you're able to get an energy onto Arceus as well, you're gonna be, of course, golden, because with Inteleon, the deck is super consistent. Then, the number 1 deck in the format, the best deck ever, for Worlds at least. It's Palkia. Hello, Palkia. We meet again. Palkia is just so inherently strong because of the subspace swell. Slapping 60 damage plus 20 more for every bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Yeah, that's right, you heard me right. So if the opponent's not careful with their bench, you just slaughter them, because the max damage output that a Palkia can provide is 290 damage. Enough to knock out any V-Star in existence. A lot of decks need to fill up their bench, let's be honest. They have the Inteleon engine, or they need their Bibarels, their whatever. They're filling up their bench themselves. If they don't do it, you can still use Echoing Horn, Choice Belt, and you're also good to go. You have cross switchers in here, and Irida. Irida is basically saying get any card you want from the deck, because you can search your deck for a water type Pokemon, and you can also search your deck for an item card. So if you go second, you can get Battle VIP Pass and even a Pokemon as well. Don't even need to use Keep Calling, you can get everything with Battle VIP Pass. On top of that, Irida in the late game allows you to get a Shady Dealings engine, so you can get any trainer you want on top of a water Pokemon. If you're in a situation where you need to draw cards, you have Radiant Greninja with the concealed cards as we've seen before. With, of course, the ability of the Palkia VSTAR, the Star Portal, it's actually broken. You don't need your first turn attachment. You don't need it, because you can just flip over your VSTAR token and boom, 3 energies from your discard pile go flying onto your Pokemon. That could also mean you can get energies onto the Inteleon with Aqua Bullet, a very great one-price option, or even worse for one-price archetypes, you can attack with Radiant Greninja. This could work out 90 damage on 2 targets, knocking out Lunatone Solrock, locking out Drizzle and Subble. It's all possible if they don't have the Manaphy. Very ridiculous for sure. And with Scoop Up Nets in here and the Galarian Zigzagoon, Palkia can even hit VMAX Pokemon. So the strongest deck out there, you of course are running a Tool Scrapper to get rid of big charms on stuff like the Arc Intels that we've seen, but also knocking out Choice Belt on opposing Palkia, so you're a little bit safer from damage output. You have access to Roxanne and Pat, a strong combo for sure, and the deck is just very, very, very scary because the damage racks up so fast. A card you can think about to add in here is Starmie V, but it's completely up to you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the top 10 best decks in the format for the World Championships. Let me know in the comments down below which deck will win the World Championships. I'm very curious to hear your opinion down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways, and subscribe for more content. Anyhow, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Go check out our sponsors. They are all listed in this video, and you can click down below. If you're looking for a playmat, you can get, of course, 10% off with your playmat. If you're a European player, you can buy cards on the card market. Use the referral name ZapdosTCG. If you're looking for TCGO code cards to start practicing online, you can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off. And if you're looking for sleeves, binders, and deck boxes, Dragon Shield has your back. Click the link down below. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace.